Have you ever wondered what makes a universe truly dark? When we talk about dark universes, we're not simply referring to worlds with monsters or villains. No, we go much further. Imagine a place where the very essence of reality is corrupted, where every corner hides an indescribable horror, where humanity has been pushed to the limits of its existence. It's as if you took all your deepest fears and turned them into an entire world. These universes are like twisted versions of our worst nightmares, places where human decisions, supernatural events, or incomprehensible entities have turned reality into something unrecognizable. It's as if the very fabric of existence had been torn, leaving only a disturbing echo of what was once normal. So get ready, because these are the 5 darkest universes in fiction, each more disturbing than the last. 5. Loop Hero, The Mist of Oblivion. Imagine waking up one day to discover that the world you knew has been enveloped in a mysterious mist that not only erases memories, but defies the very laws of reality. This is the fascinating scenario of the Hero universe, where an ancient lich, think of an extremely powerful undead sorcerer, as if Voldemort merged with a Dark Lord from Dark Souls, managed to create magic so powerful that it literally undid reality as we know it. What's truly terrifying about this universe isn't just the all-consuming mist, but the constant uncertainty. Have you ever felt lost in an unknown city? Now multiply that feeling by 1,000. In this world, survivors live in a state of perpetual confusion, where they can't even be sure how much time has passed or what lies beyond their small shelters. The appearance of the mysterious night adds an additional layer of intrigue to this story. Imagine someone like the protagonist of Dark Souls, but with the ability to restore fragments of reality. It's as if they were a cosmic repairman in a world that's falling apart. Every time they enter the mist, they bring back pieces of the lost world, rivers, forests, mountains. It's like watching someone rebuild an infinite puzzle piece by piece. But here comes the most disturbing twist. Even after defeating the Lich, nothing changes. It's like discovering that the final boss wasn't really the final boss, and that there's something much more sinister operating behind the scenes. Can you imagine fighting against what you believe to be the supreme evil, only to discover that you've barely scratched the surface of true horror? 4. Mandela Catalog, Terror in the Shadows. If you've ever felt that chill of something watching you in the dark, this universe will turn that fear into your worst nightmare. The Mandela Catalog takes something as ordinary as the darkness of night and turns it into the perfect setting for one of the most disturbing threats I've encountered: the alternates. Think of the alternates as the most twisted version of the uncanny valley. That phenomenon that makes us feel uncomfortable when something looks very much like a human but isn't quite right. These beings are like a digital age nightmare. They can manipulate technology, mimic voices, and appear at any time. It's as if the traditional doppelganger merged with a computer virus. What's truly terrifying about the alternates is their methodology. They're not simple monsters that attack physically, they're masters of psychological terror. Imagine being home alone and hearing the voice of a loved one calling you from another room, only to discover that loved one is away on a trip. The alternates play with our minds, make us doubt our sanity, and worst of all, make us fear those we love. The theory that they've been among us all along adds an additional layer of existential horror. How many mysterious disappearances throughout history could have been the work of the alternates? How many inexplicable accidents bear their signature? It's like discovering that the monster under your bed was always real, only now it has internet access and can hack your phone. Perhaps the most disturbing detail is the apparent complicity of the authorities. Imagine calling 911 during an attack and they simply hang up. The idea that there's an official protocol to abandon alternate victims is like discovering that the system designed to protect us is compromised from within. 3. Iron Lung, The Void of Space. Now let's take a leap into the future, but not one full of hope and space exploration like Star Trek. Iron Lung presents us with a scenario that makes the loneliness of outer space seem even more terrifying. Imagine waking up one day to discover that all habitable planets simply disappeared. It's as if someone had erased almost all existence with a click. The silent rapture is perhaps one of the most terrifying concepts I've encountered in science fiction. Think about it. Billions of people, entire planets, simply vanishing without explanation. The only survivors are those who were floating in space at that moment. It's like being the last passengers on a cruise ship after all the continents have sunk into the ocean. But what's truly disturbing are those blood moons. Imagine finding oceans literally made of human blood floating in space. It's like discovering a mass grave the size of a planet. Where did all that blood come from? What happened to those people? And most unsettling, what lurks in the depths of those crimson oceans? The submarine expeditions in these oceans of blood are like descents into hell itself. Think about it. Being alone in a rudimentary submarine surrounded by blood on all sides, unable to see anything but deep red through the instruments, knowing there's something down there. It's like playing Russian roulette with cosmic horror. 2. Fear and hunger, the gods of madness. If Lovecraft had created a universe even more disturbing than his own, it would probably look like Fear and Hunger. This world is as if we took traditional European mythology and twisted it until it became a Lovecraftian nightmare on steroids. Imagine a world where gods not only exist, but are actively malicious, and, worst of all, humans can become them. It's as if every person had the possibility of becoming a being of incomprehensible power, but the price to pay is their own humanity and sanity. What's truly disturbing about this universe is how the pursuit of divine power has completely corrupted human morality. It's as if every act of worship were a competition to see who can commit the most atrocious act. The rituals and sacrifices that occur in this world would make the darkest cults in our history look like scout groups in comparison. And then there are the ancient gods, being so incomprehensible that they're more living concepts than entities. Imagine if madness itself had physical form and could walk among us. It's as if humanity's deepest nightmares had come to life and decided to play with us as if we were ants. 1. Cruelty Squad, the corporate dystopia. And finally, we arrive at number 1, a universe that makes Black Mirror look like a romantic comedy. Cruelty Squad presents us with a future where capitalism hasn't just gone wild, but completely psychotic. Imagine a world where death has become little more than a minor inconvenience, like having to restart your phone when it freezes. Corporations can revive you as many times as they want, as long as you can pay. Sounds convenient, right? But think about the implications. When death loses its meaning, what happens to the value of life? It's as if you took all the darkest aspects of current capitalism and took them to the most absurd and disturbing extreme. Mass murders are as common as traffic accidents are today. People walk calmly, while others shoot around them as if it were as normal as seeing someone talking on the phone in the street. The protagonist of this story is like a regular corporate employee, except their job involves assassinating people for hire. It's as if LinkedIn had a corporate assassin section alongside software developer and sales manager. The normalization of extreme violence is perhaps the most disturbing aspect of this entire universe. And so we reach the end of our journey through these 5 dark universes. As you can see, each represents a unique form of horror, from the existential fear of Hero Universe to the psychological terror of Mandela Catalog, through the cosmic horror of Iron Lock, the divine madness of Fear Hunger, and the corporate dystopia of Cruelty Squad. I hope you found the video entertaining. I'd love to hear your opinions. Which of these universes seemed the darkest to you? Which one did you find most disturbing? Which do you consider the best, within how terrible they all are? After all, none is exactly an ideal place to live. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more similar content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. As always, you can share your theories and opinions in the comments, as long as we maintain mutual respect. See you in the next video, Seekers of Knowledge. And remember, no matter how dark these fictional universes may be, we can always be thankful that they're just that, fiction. Or are they?